Hey guys, so today I made a quick hair tutorial on this braided look with some curls added and some volume. I got a lot of responses on my one braid with like a messy hairdo. It was for summer. So if you want to see how I achieved this hair look, then definitely keep watching this video. A couple tips is once you start the braid, yes, you can look in the mirror, but if you stop looking in the mirror, you can find it so much easier with your hand. Give yourself a couple of times and I swear it'll get easier. Anyone can braid. It just takes a little bit of practice. So I also don't use a lot of hairspray, so I usually actually only use hairspray when I do my tease. When I do the braid, go that way. That is because when you start to braid, I like tend to pull forward, which is fine. You can kind of fix it at the end, but it'll be a lot easier on you if you keep it back or straight. You can always pin your hair back, which is nice. Also, when I go to pull the braid, it's because when it's too skinny, it looks a little funny. It makes your braids look so much better. If you guys do try this look, you can find me on Instagram. My name is @Stephanie with 3 Y's, so STEFFANYYYF, and tag me in it and so that I can see what you guys did. Okay, so let's get started. First things first is take your hair down if it's up, and then grab a quick brush and just brush the ends first and then brush through the rest of your hair. That way you don't have any tangles. To make it easier to separate your hair, you can use a duckbill clip, which is the one on the left, or a butterfly clip. Butterflies are good because if you have a lot of hair, it will hold it all, but I can use the duckbill with the added room versus like those really skinny ones. So all you're going to do is part your hair from like your ear up and then go ahead and clip everything out of the way. Then separate the back in half and pull it forward. I'm using the Titan 3 by NUME. I am using the 32 millimeter. It actually comes with 2 other sizes. Then I'm going to spray a heat protectant on your hair. Please remember to use a glove because you can burn yourself very, very badly if you do not. Also be careful not to hit your neck or anything like that. I gave you guys a close-up right there because when I curl around the hair, you actually can leave an inch out. That will give you a more effortless look versus a structured curl. So as you just saw, I start about 1 inch to 2 inches away from my head and I just wrap the whole curl around. I don't necessarily leave my hair flat. I just kind of take it however it lands and I leave 1 inch out at the end. The easiest way to go through your hair without getting lost is to separate it as you go. So I took everything that was curled and put it to the left of my front shoulder. Now I'm going to take basically where my eyebrow lands and part that out of the way. So I'm going to clip all of that hair up that you just saw. Grab all the new hair that it needs to be curled and keep it in your hand. Then take your other hand and take the curled pieces and throw them in the back. Then split everything in half and pull it forward. The size sections I'm taking is about 1 to 2 inches depending on what you want to do. I did vertical sections, so they're skinnier, but they're a little bit longer. And you will get to know your hair. If it's a little bit hard and difficult for you at first, I promise it will get easier. Practice always makes perfect, so just keep on trying. And then I just keep sectioning it with my finger and curling the hair backwards. I'm curling it away from my face. It's a habit and it's just what I like to do. I don't like to curl it forward. I feel like it kind of moves the cuticle and doesn't look nicely on me, so it just depends on what you like. I have not fast forwarded this video, so let's count on how many seconds you should hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it depends on how big of a section you take and also how high heat you have your iron on. This one is on 180. It depends on what type of hair texture you have and if you have bleached or darker hair, you know. So if you don't have super damaged hair, you can risk having it a little bit higher, and if your hair is thicker. But if your hair is soft and fine and bleached to the max, then you definitely want to keep that setting really low and not have your hair on the heat for that long. This iron is actually made out of 100% titanium, and I personally like this one better than the black plated ones because I do own a 19 millimeter black plated one and I don't think it gets as hot, plus it does not have a heat setting so you cannot control it. So just a little added tip, that way if you are looking to buy one, this is a great option and it works amazing. So we're getting closer to the top of the head. Again, we're gonna flip all of the curled hair in front of us and section out this mohawk area. And I'm going to clip all of this out of the way. Again, I'm going to part everything in back in half and pull it to the front and start curling away. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the next few pieces because I've already showed you. If you guys have any questions, definitely comment below and I will answer them. When you do get to the front, it's better to curl away from your face for sure. It gives you a nicer look in my opinion, and also it will not hang in your face if you put your head down and that sort of thing. So getting to the mohawk area, it's important to part your hair. It's technically called vertical, so basically how you just saw me part my hair. Go ahead and wrap it as you would. This is a little bit thicker section for me, so I have to keep it on just a tad bit longer. Again, be careful with your timing and also your heat setting. Then you're gonna let it go. Giving yourself that backwards effect gives you volume at the top. And I actually come very close to almost burning myself, so please, again, be extremely careful. I totally recommend the glove. I cannot find it. I've burned myself plenty of times to where I kind of know when to stop, but I don't recommend not using a glove. As you can see, I move a little bit closer to the scalp when I get to the top, but be very careful. Do not burn yourself. Once you're done, go ahead and shake all of your curls out and just maneuver it with your fingers. You can brush through them a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys how the bottom looked so far. So I was really going for that, again, effortless curl and not a structured curl. So I actually love the way that it turned out. Grabbing this Bumble and Bumble Dry Spun. It's a texture spray. I love texture sprays. They add so much fullness to your hair and also gives you a lot of movement. You can leave the hair as is, or you can go on and add the braid. Oh, I'm sorry. You would not leave the hair completely as is. You would definitely want to tease where I'm teasing now. I showed you guys the back so that you can kind of see how I had that separation. Not cute. So you want to be able to fix that for sure, and you can easily do that with some teasing. So part your hair where you want the braid to start, and then also part how thick you want it. So that's what I'm doing right now. Then you're just going to clip everything out of the way so you don't get involved with that other hair. Take a little bit of hair by the ear and then just tuck it behind, so you're not going to include that in the braid. That's going to add to our look. Before you start braiding, please make sure all of your hair is detangled. You should grab a brush if you need to. I used my fingers. I parted the very first 3 sections like horizontally back, about a ½ inch section, maybe a whole inch. Now you're just going to start the braid. This is technically an inverted braid because I'm pulling under. If you did a regular braid, it's over. So I just wanted to show you kind of how I first started the 3 pieces. Then you can start picking up more hair as you go, but make sure you get a little bit of movement going first. Or basically you pick up the hair in one section and then pull it under. Then you grab the next section and pull it under. So each hair that you're working with, like the next braid, that's where you're picking up the hair. The trick to braids is they can be like a little messy. So just keep grabbing hair. If you get confused and you add it to the wrong section, that's totally fine. No one's going to notice. You'll see what I'm talking about when you go to try it on yourself, why mirrors actually don't help. I'm actually not looking in the mirror, even though it looks like I probably am. I'm just looking down. And I start to pull my hair forward, which I'll tell you in a second. You need to pull your hair back because it will just land all on your hairline, which you want it a little bit behind your hairline. So it gets a little hard because you are looking down and your hands are kind of forward, so that's why you end up pulling it forward. So as long as you kind of keep thinking throughout the braid, you'll be fine. You can fix it. So I've braided too close to my hairline before, and you just separate it first and loosen it. Then you can pin it with a bobby pin. A good thing to remember too is if you feel like it's going to be a hot mess braid and it is not going to look cute, I would finish the whole thing first, loosen it up, pin it, see how it looks. You never know, it might totally work out. But also that's how you're going to learn. If you just keep starting the beginning, I don't think that you're going to get as far. So even if it looks like it's going to be a disaster, just keep going, and I promise you, you will learn way more that way. I sped through this part because I'm not doing anything special. It's literally just a normal braid at this point. And I'm going to grab a black elastic and I'm going to tie the hair. I used to use bobby pins. I suggest getting a little elastic because if you use a bobby pin, it can come loose and then you don't know exactly where to start again. To make the braid look more full, you want to start at the bottom and just pull it. So again, totally fine if it's a little messy. If your layers start popping out, that's fine too. You're going to pin those later if you have to, but otherwise I just leave them. So just keep pulling until you get to the top, and the top is very important too. You want to make sure that first piece is just as loose as the rest, otherwise it will look weird. Take a bobby pin, stick it right through one of those braided sections, and just pin it to the rest of your hair. That's going to hold it in place. Take another one, and wherever you want the braid to fall is where you're going to pin it. Take the rest of the hair out. Now we're gonna start teasing the hair. That way it looks nice and full. Basically, you're going around like 3 inches. You're just gonna keep grabbing that hair in the middle. And I have a little bit more experience teasing my own hair, so I teased in the back first. But typically, I would actually section that whole top piece into 2 sections. Then I would tease the front piece first and then tease the back. So instead, I'm teasing here right now. Then I'm going to separate it right now, but it might hurt you if you're not used to it. So go ahead and try it if you feel brave. And then spray it again with hairspray. I'm using the Kenra 25. It's the volume 25. I love the Kenra hairspray. It smells amazing and your hair is not going to move. I also sprayed the dry shampoo. I sprayed that before because whenever this is a day old hair for me, so I'm going to take up any of the oils that are on my scalp. So I'm actually spraying that to reduce oiliness. And also it adds volume already, so I kind of like it. And then it adds a little bit of texture as well wherever the texture spray didn't hit, because I usually like the texture spray towards the bottom. You can fine tune the curls if they got a little frizzy on you, so just pick and pull whatever pieces you want to recurl. Then just pin the braid behind you so that it doesn't just dangle, because it looks kind of funny with like a little elastic tie, or you can leave it, whatever you prefer. I just sprayed a little bit more texture spray to add some oomph. You can re-tease and recurl and do whatever you would like. Once you're done with that, this look is complete. Comment below this video if you tried this look. I'd love to see what you guys created. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That way I know you guys want to see more hair tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to be part of my YouTube family, and I will talk to you guys very soon.